lesson 1.4, properties of real numbers. So our goal for today is to identify and use properties of real numbers. You can see I have the vocabulary already written in. Go ahead and pause the video and write this down. I'm going to let you guys read through this and we're just going to go straight into the examples. There are different properties in algebra that we need to use for addition and multiplication. The first property is the commutative property of addition. Okay? This deals with the order of your numbers. An algebraic explanation would be if you have a number a plus b, that equals b plus a. So an actual example, if you have 5 plus 4, that should equal 4 plus 5. And it does. Both sides are 9. The commutative property of multiplication is the same thing as far as order goes, just with multiplication. So a times b equals b times a. Again, we'll use 5 times 4 should equal 4 times 5, which it does. Both sides equal 20. The associative property of addition deals with the way we group our numbers, so using parentheses. If I have a plus b in parentheses plus c, it should equal the same thing as a plus in parentheses b plus c. So we can use some numbers. If 2 plus 3 plus 4 should equal 2 plus 3 plus 4. And this is 5 plus 4 is 9. 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 2 is 9. Both sides equal 9. The associative property of multiplication is the same exact thing, except using multiplication instead of addition. So a times b times c is the same thing as a times b times c. Okay. We can use the same numbers. 2 times 3 times 4. 2 times 3 times 4. So the order is the same. What's different is where the brackets or the parentheses are. So this, again, is still, no matter which way you put the parentheses, your answer is 24 on both sides. Now the identity property of addition, okay, is a plus 0 equals a. So this is what number you can put in so that a will still equal a. A plus 0 equals a. It doesn't change the value of your first number. Okay? So for example, 5 plus 0 equals 5. The identity property of multiplication is a little different because if we use a times 0, that's not going to equal a. That's going to equal 0. We need to find a number to multiply the a by so that my answer is still a. Well, that would be 1, because 5 times 1 would equal 5. So the identity for addition would be 0. The identity for multiplication would be 1. Now the 0 property of multiplication is what happens when you multiply a number by 0. It becomes 0. So 5 times 0 equals 0. The multiplication property of -1 is just saying when you multiply a number by -1, you get the opposite of that number. So if I take -1 times 5, I would get -5. Those are the properties of real numbers. So let's go through some examples. Example 1 just asks which property is illustrated by each statement. So if I look at A, I know it's a multiplication property because it's got the multiply sign, and it's timesing by 0. So this is the 0 property of multiplication. Now B, I can see that it's addition, right? So it's an addition property. None of the order has changed, just the grouping symbols. So remember, grouping is the associative property. So this is the associative property of addition. Now the last one, C, we have 5x plus 0 equals 5x. So again, it's addition, and I see the plus 0, so I should think identity, because my answer is the same as that first term. So this is the identity property of addition. Now example 2 says what is the simplified form of each expression? This is asking us to use our properties to simplify this. Well, right now I have 4 and then in parentheses 8n. So this is all multiplication. Now I can't multiply 8 times an unknown number. But what I could do is move the parentheses, so use the associative property of multiplication so that my numbers are grouped together and I can multiply those. 4 times 8 is 32, so I have 32n. Now B, I have a couple things that I need to do. This is obviously addition because it's got the plus sign, but changing the grouping isn't going to help me. What I should do is change the order. Now changing the order is the commutative property. So what I could do is this 7, I could actually move it anywhere because it's all addition. And then after that I can use the associative property to change where the parentheses are. So change my grouping. Now I can add 7 plus 3, which is 10. I can't add the 10 and the 5b together because they're not like terms. This has a variable, this doesn't. But this would be my answer. Okay. Our last example, example 3. This one asks, is a statement true or false? And if it's false, give a counterexample. So what a counterexample means is an example that shows that it doesn't work. So I know that A is going to be false because, first of all of the stuff we've been doing has been addition and multiplication. This is subtraction. But if I try an example to see if it works, 5 minus 4 should equal 4 minus 5. Well, 5 minus 4 is 1. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. This is false. And I've just given a counterexample. For B, if I'm not sure if it's true or false, I can try an example. Let's do 2 times 3 times 4 and see if it's the same as 2 times 4 times 3. Well, this is 6, 24. This is 8 times 3 is 24. So this is true. And if you notice, all we did is we moved, right, the order. We changed the order. So this would be the commutative property of multiplication. So this was your lesson over 1.4 properties of real numbers.